Hello. So, I've just watched 2/3 of episode 4 of the Harry and Meghan reality show. I mowed 1,000 red roses for this. I mowed a barrel of beer, a tub of Valium. It's so boring. So, we'll see how far we get. So the first thing we see is Queen Elizabeth II's wedding. The next we see is Diana's wedding. And then I heard something from Nutmeg. I had to rewind it. I was like, no. She said, our private secretary worked for the Queen for 20 years. She said, and I'm assuming Nutmeg is referring to herself as it. You'll see what I mean. She said, it's like a fish swimming perfectly in its own little current, and then this little organism comes in, this foreign organism, and the entire thing goes, what is that? What is it doing here? It doesn't look like us. It doesn't move like us. We don't like it. Get it off of us. That was what Nutmeg says. And she just explained that they'll soon see that it's stronger, faster, even better with this organism as a part of it. It will be very hard at the beginning for them to adjust to this new thing, but then it'll be amazing. And then you hear some audio saying, assumingly about Nutmeg, she's the first ever global princess. No, she's not. Diana, Princess of Wales, Grace Kelly. Then you get views of excited people all over the world about the wedding, including Windsor and other places in the UK. Everyone's happy for them. Harry, 6 minutes in, he has to mention he's Diana's boy. And he thinks that there was an expectation by the public for him to have the full public wedding. I think we'd have been happy with him doing whatever he wanted to do. Nutmeg probably wouldn't. It's not the public's problem. It's Nutmeg who wanted the big wedding. What's it? Yeah, he's just bitching about being given the big wedding. There's no pleasing some people. And then there's pictures of Nutmeg getting out of the car at the wedding and the crowd screaming, and the newsreaders are we're about to see the dress. Shocking racism that was. More wedding pictures. And then Harry says, my father helped us choose an orchestra. Nutmeg says, Harry's dad is very charming, and I said to him, I've lost my dad, so him as a father-in-law was very important to me, so I asked him to walk me down the aisle, and he said yes. Rewriting history yet again. Then you hear someone saying gospel choirs that had never been part of a royal wedding before. Harry says there wasn't much pushback on that. Gospel choir, what a wonderful idea. That's great. And again, more help from my dad on that one. Nutmeg says the royal family took the best people from different choirs and put this choir together. The way the guests, because some of the guests speak, the way they're speaking, you would think it's the first time the royal family had ever been in a room with people of colour. The royal family spend more time with people of colour than Nutmeg and him will ever do. That's just a fact. They've been doing it for decades. Not making a fuss about it, because there's not a fuss to be made about it. You've got this character, James Holt, Executive Director of Archwell, talking about the monarchy. It needed a boost of energy, a modernisation. It would speak to a new generation of people. 15 minutes in, we get to see Nottingham Cottage. Harry says, as far as people were concerned, we were living in a palace. We were in a cottage. Nutmeg's face. Not happy when he said that. Both of them say, at the same time, we were living on palace grounds. Nutmeg says, Kensington Palace sounds very regal. Of course it does. It says palace in the name. But Nottingham Cottage was so small. This is why I call them the ingrates. There's a picture of her after saying that in a doorway that's nearly touching her head. They make a big deal about how small this Nottingham Cottage was. And it does make me wonder, were they taking photos of the Queen's childhood house, the Wendy house for a princess? Then it's got Nutmeg doing some gardening, and she says, me with a hoe. I think to myself, not the first time. Nothing's changed there. Then she starts going on about her first official solo engagement with the Queen when she went on the train to Liverpool, I think it was. It was very early on after we got married, she said. I'm so grateful there's a grandmother figure, 'cause that feels like family. If so, why not let her see the kids? Why not let any of the grandparents see the kids apart from Doria? And then you hear someone saying, I don't know how they know this, Meghan had the Queen in stitches of laughter. You don't often see the Queen in giggles. Just like her husband, Nutmeg and Harry, the only ones who can make the Queen, the late Queen, laugh.